All right, so Jessica sent the message. Let's go ahead and give her a call back. A little surprise for her.
Hello?
Hey, is this Jessica?
Yeah?
Hey, how you doing? This is Nurse Stefan on the line.
You're kidding me.
How you doing?
Gosh, I never thought you'd actually call.
I got your message about pumping at work. What's going on?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I remember seeing your awesome video on breastfeeding.
Excuse me, a little privacy, please. Thank you.
I was interested in your opinion on pumping at work. I've never pumped at work before. I stayed home with my older one. I am planning on going back to work. My daughter is 2 months, and then my older one goes to school in August, and so I'm going back to work, and I don't really know what to expect.
All right, well, I don't need to tell you about the, the plethora of benefits there are to breastfeeding. You've already seen the video, right?
Yeah, I really like it. I share it, like, with everyone.
Thank you. You're too kind. I'm here all week. Did you happen to see the article that was in JAMA the other day, which is, if you didn't know, the Journal of American Medical Association, which is one of my most loved resources? Well, the study is about female doctors in the U.S. What it concluded was that not even 33% of them get to breastfeed for as long as they'd like to. It's very unfortunate. Now, amongst the women in the U.S., female doctors breastfeed about 42% of them to about a year or more, which is much higher than the 36% of women in general that breastfeed up to a year in the U.S. Now, the World Health Organization, whose number one concern is the public health of the world, recommends breastfeeding to 2 years or beyond.
Yeah, I heard that.
Now, again, just think about it. Over a third of the women in the U.S. aren't even making it halfway to the recommendation of the World Health Organization. To me, that's absolutely nuts. Now, these doctors say pretty much the biggest barriers they have are not having the time and space to be able to continue to pump while they're at work, which is necessary in order to sustain breastfeeding, right? You don't keep pumping, you don't have the milk production, right?
Without lots of time at the breast and lots of stimulation, the milk is not going to come in as robustly or stay as robust long term. It is very important that the baby spend oodles amount of time at that breast.
And you want to continue breastfeeding because you know that's the way you're going to nourish your child in the most optimal way you can to benefit your child and your own health. Moms, you could reduce your risk of ovarian, endometrial, and breast cancer all through breastfeeding.
Definitely.
Now, if women who are doctors, a job that requires a high level of training and education, not to mention an expensive level of training and education, if they're having struggles, what about other women in the country? The more limited and absolutely well-deserving people.
Definitely. Geez, if doctors can't even get it figured out.
Now, are you aware of the federal law?
Kind of. My friend talked about it a little bit.
Well, the important thing is that it exists, because anyone who had doubts about the importance of breastfeeding, that tells you right there how important it is. There's a federal law protecting women, right? The problem with the federal law, well, there's a few things here. Now, the first thing is that it only covers pumping for 1 year. Now, remember the World Health Organization's recommendation, 2 years of breastfed baby, okay?
Yeah, 2 years.
All the way up until 2 years of age and beyond. So in other words, what the main health organization of our world is suggesting you be doing. So the second thing is that it pretty much only covers hourly paid women, okay?
You're kidding.
If you're a salaried woman in the U.S., tough shit. You're not covered by the federal law. It makes a lot of sense, right? And the last major problem with this law is that if you're a part of a business or a company that has 50 employees or less, that company can be exempt from this law.
Oh my gosh, yeah, my friend was telling me about that, and she said that because my company has only like 40 employees, that they don't have to follow the law. Is that
No.
True?
So the key words here are have the ability to be exempt, okay? Have the ability. In order for a business to be exempt, and there's a huge misconception, the business actually, one, has to go through the process of applying for exemption. Two, they have to prove that you pumping at work or anyone pumping at work is causing an undue hardship on that business. And three, they have to have it accepted and then be granted the exemption. Okay, so until they meet all of those requirements, they do not have the ability to tell you no.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Now, this is all true unless you live in a state where they have a special law, which thankfully takes precedence over the federal law if it offers better protection. But right now, there's just over half the U.S., okay? There's 29 states plus D.C. and Puerto Rico, right? I'm Puerto Rican. We take care of our families, right? In fact, in Puerto Rico, they actually require public places like malls, airports, places like these to have a place where women can go that's designed for breastfeeding that isn't a bathroom. So the problem is the protection of the laws in each state very substantially from state to state. You might be in whatever state you're in and have the protection of where you can go into a room that's free of intrusion and protected, and you might go next state over and be hearing Brenda, you know, dropping a mean deuce in the stall next door right as you're getting your pump fired up. You know what I mean? Right? So, you know, it's not the same everywhere, and that's not fair, right? So the state-to-state level thing isn't working.
Clearly, if they're not even protecting moms to not have to pump in a bathroom.
Exactly. I mean, even as a guy, I can empathize with being pickled in that stank. So the bottom line is we shouldn't have to rely on state-to-state to dictate how we feed our children, right?
Oh, for sure.
So this should be handled on a federal level, and the arrangement in which a person is on payroll should have absolutely no association with whether or not a person is protected by this law.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And not only that, why don't we take the suggestion of our World Health Organization and just approve the solid 2 years of coverage? Statistically, many women aren't going to take advantage of this anyway, but those that do will be able to reap the benefits of feeding their baby breast milk, something that every person should have the right to do. That elixir of the gods you got brewing in those breasts. Am I right?
Yeah, definitely.
So does that kind of answer all your questions?
Yeah, I think so. Thank you so much for calling me.
No problem.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
It's
go
gonna
ahead.
be like a video.